Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel, and in this editing masterclass I am going to show you how do I edit this macro shot in Capture One. So recently I have been using Capture One and I am quite impressed with how it behaves and how it does its raw editing. So let's begin. So first I would actually like to crop this image so that I don't get any distraction, so I can focus on the part what I want to edit. Generally I do the cropping at last, but then since this is a macro image I would prefer to do cropping in the beginning. So in Capture One you have the toolbar at the top where you can select from here the crop tool and then crop the image. So I kind of try to keep it by rule of thirds in this intersection point. And so let's analyze the image before we begin the editing. So let's zoom into the subject more. So as you can see, because I shot this using a flashlight and I was not carrying any diffuser, so the light is quite harsh and it has blown off quite a bit of details on this part, and then little bit of on the tail as well. So Capture One is a very smart tool, and when it comes to especially the masking and doing the selective edits, it's a very smart as compared to Lightroom, and that was actually one of the reason I decided to switch over. So let's get the things going. We will brighten overall scene a tiny little bit, give little bit of contrast, reduce the highlights tiny little bit, and deepen the shadows to create drama in this, so that from this area to this area to this, your eyes are drawn to the subject. Reduce the whites a little bit and darken overall blacks as well a little bit. Now in Capture One, the biggest benefit we have over Lightroom is that when you apply local edits, you can use every single tool which is available. So I'm going to go to the layer panel right over here. There is a plus icon and this tiny little arrow where you see new empty layer. So I'm going to select new empty layer and I will take a paintbrush. Paintbrush is here, draw mask, and I will just very roughly paint over this bug, just like that. You can press M. M is the indication where it shows the marks. Let me show you little differently as well. So I can zoom in. So the another biggest advantage I found in Capture One as compared to Lightroom, that if I press F on the keyboard, then it will go into zoom. But then in Lightroom, when you are in zoom mode, you can only review the image, you cannot edit. But in Capture One, you can. So I'm just going to paint over the bug. Can reduce the size of the brush and I can paint over the legs. I don't have to be precise because there is another technique which will make the mask precise, but I can just paint over it. And let's make it a little bit bigger. Click here, press shift and click here, then it will take all over. So this should do. So as you can see, you don't have to be precise, you can just paint over it. And then let me reduce size a little bit. Now if I go to the adjustment layer, which is our paintbrush where we have painted the bug, and if I right click on this area, then it will give me the further options. Then I can go to refine mask, and when I go to refine mask, I usually try to go all the way to 300, and while it is processing, let's just see what it does. And as you can see, it has perfectly selected the area what we want, but we can reduce it a little bit. Yeah, this should do. Then apply. Now let's come out of full screen view for a moment. I'll press M once again to hide the mask, and then let's see what it does. If I reduce the exposure, give a contrast a little bit, increase a tiny little brightness, give a bit of saturation boost, reduce the highlights, deepen the shadows a little bit, and give a little bit of structure, and give a little bit of clarity. Now again, let's go to full screen mode and let's see how powerful this tool is. So this is before and this is after. Just look at this area. There is no detail, and now it has retained all the details which was lost. We can take it little bit ahead. There you go. So this is one advantage we have with Capture One, that when you are in local edits in adjustment layers, you can apply every single tools which is available to you. Unlike Lightroom, when you are using any adjustment, local adjustment like adjustment brush or gradient tool or a radial tool, you can only apply selective edits. Now take a look at this. This is before, this is after. Now let us work on the wings. But before we work on the wings, what we would do, we will take an eraser brush, and there is some masking has been spilled over this wing from the bug. So let us remove that by going to this adjustment tool layer, take eraser and just erase. That's it. Now let's take one more empty layer, take a brush again, and again hit the M key so you can see the mask, so you can see where you are painting, and just paint over these wings. Just paint over the wings. Just paint over the wings. Now you know what to do. Once again, right click on this area, go to refine mask, okay, this is fair enough. Then take eraser and just paint out, just zoom out a little bit, just paint out, increase the brush size and just remove where you don't want it to be affected, just like that. Okay, so now we have fairly smooth selection of wings. We can do one more thing. We can go to Luma range and remove the selection from the darker pixels. This is little too much. There you are. As you can see, it is very precise. It is only selecting the area what we want. Apply the mask, just paint slightly over this side and get rid of any unwanted masking. That's it. Now let's hide the mask and let's see what we can do. Increase the exposure a bit so to get some details out of the wings. Increase the contrast, maybe give a little bit of brightness. Darken the black areas a bit so you can see the separation between the bright areas and the dark areas. Same, reduce the shadows a little bit. So as you can see, it is taking the shape. So here it is not really visible. Now they are coming out. And what else we can do? Give them a bit of structure, little bit of clarity, and reduce exposure tad bit. I'll reduce the contrast and reduce the exposure. Give them a bit of saturation boost. I think here what I will do. Actually, I'll take one more empty layer and I'll just go little zoom in, and on this area here it is still little over bright. So just one stroke of brush, yeah, this makes more sense. So let's see, zoom in. Now you can see, let me show you. So this is the wings. Sorry, this is the wings. You can see how much details it is able to take out, and this is the bug. It is blown out and with all the details recovered. So now the last step, I think I am quite happy with the details which we have been able to recover. Now the last step, we will go to the background color. We will go to color tab. Let's come out of the full screen view, and since it has a lot of green color, let's brighten up the greens a bit. Give a bit of saturation boost, and in the master let's give a bit of warmth. I think this will do. Give a bit of warmth. Yeah. And on this tab here, you see the symbol of zoom. About 100 should be fine, and then reduce the noise a little bit, detail noise, color noise. I think I'll crop little bit more, still little far away. Let's try and get it more closer. It is still very far away. Yeah, I think this crop looks better. So you can see little halos. So what I will do, go to find that layer. I think it's layer number 2. Take eraser and yeah, it's here. Okay, so the halos has been taken care of, and something is still missing. What I'm trying to figure out is let's reduce the exposure of overall image a little bit and increase the wings exposure a bit more. Right now this is getting there, what I was looking for. So let's review before and after. So in capture 1 you have two ways of doing before and after. One is the full screen view, so you can use keyboard shortcut Y on your so this is before. As you can see, very blown out bug and then no details in the wings, and this is after, quite balanced. And you also have option of doing a slider view. So we split view slider, and then you can slide between this before and after. I will probably take actually one more empty layer, take a gradient, fill over here and just give luma range, remove the brighter pixels, display mask. I am trying to give a backlit glow. So let's remove the brighter pixels to begin with, maybe more. Yeah, this mask looks good, and just increase exposure a little bit, just a bit. So it has given that backlit glow. And here there is some more halo. Just take a mask and we'll just wipe that off. Increase the size of the brush and wipe this off, and from here to done. Yeah, now there isn't any more halo. So that's it guys, we're done with this edit. Let me show you once again before and after. So this is the slider view. So this is before, and slowly, gradually, as I move, you can see the after. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you guys like this edit. Do subscribe to my channel, like, share, spread your love. This is Tulsi signing out until we meet again in the next video. Goodbye.